Guys, this is part 2.
right.
Did you see part 1 yet? If you didn't, just go back.
The guys are at the bar, kind of bar hopping, and then the girls are at the slumber party. So we can start with the guys and we can ping pong back and forth. But this is really the meat and potatoes of the episode and where the wheels fall off the bus in a glorious way for the viewers.
Yeah.
It's that great line in The Birdcage when he goes, I feel like I'm riding a deranged horse into a burning stable. I've never seen so much go so wrong so quickly.
Yeah.
Truly, when I say Craig and Austen had a relationship, someone cheated, and now they just can't get back on the horse.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Craig could go out to buy a gallon of milk, come back in the exact time that it takes to get there, buy the milk, come home with the milk, and it's still cold from being in the refrigerator. And Austen's like, I know that's not what you did. You were stripping someone else. Like, you went to this person's house, and it's like, you have my location. You know I was there. Like, they cannot win for losing because anytime Craig says something, Austen has a problem with it. Anytime Austen says something, Craig has a problem with it. It's just a circular argument with the two of them.
Yeah.
And also, Austen does do this thing that I find quite irritating. Like, he twists parts of his story. So when Winchester and Craig are talking, because they get to the bar first and Craig orders a Coors.
Which is really where it all goes wrong. I'm convinced that he had the conversation that he did because he started drinking. He needs to switch that Willie Nelson weed drink that I keep seeing all over Instagram. I want to try it too. But yeah.
Oh, I haven't had that one, but I've had a lot of the weed drinks and I love them.
Oh, I've never had one. I mean,
they're
I've
amazing.
partaken in many edibles, never a drinkables.
Oh yeah, I make like drinkable cocktails. I use it like it's tequila and I mix it with soda water and it's amazing.
No, I want that. You need
great.
to tell me which ones to get.
Oh, I will even meet you at the store and show you.
That is above and beyond. Thank
Customer
you.
service over here. Anyway, please leave a review. It's just like everything gets twisted. Winchester starts saying, because Salley and Austen are really close, because I guess that's what he felt Austen was saying. And whether that's what Austen was saying or not, that's now what's received by Craig. And now we're never going to get this train back on the track, because then when they start talking about it, you're already off to the wrong footing, on the wrong foot.
Craig does end up saying some shitty things that, like, I'm just like, you're so dumb. Why would you say that? Not just why would you say that? It's because it's tacky and it's careless and it's just rude. And like, you're normally very, very much minding your P's and Q's, if only because your business partners tell you every day, here's how you're going to walk out today. And here's what, even if they're handing you the script, you respect the script and you stick to it. It was just a huge lapse in judgment. And I don't know if he was like, I'll give you guys something, and then we can do the next 3 episodes parsing all the things that I said and everyone can hate it or love it. Because this just didn't make any sense, except for the fact that he just needs to leave the course to the professionals.
That's right. Leave the course to court.
Yeah. But for Austen, when he says a few scenes back, it's great to have Whitner around. It's great to have a guy who's not Craig. I think what he meant to say was it's great to have a new person I can talk a bunch of shit about Craig to vent all of my grievances. The way that he talks about his relationship with Craig is as if mending this relationship is really a top priority for him. And if that is true, then you do not come in out of the gate swinging in defense of Salley. Like, it's not that Salley doesn't deserve to be defended, but like,
your friendship should be priority.
Yeah, because that's all you talk about. You act like that's the end all be all of and why you're here. And
if you really wanted to mend the friendship, you would try to hear this person and say, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
Clearly you feel attacked right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't want to say that. You don't mean that. You would have your boys back more. Mm-hmm. And I think what happens is when Craig feels like he's being, just like pushed against or not believed, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like or being picked on. He says these really outlandish, unkind things like he did in the scene.
Yeah.
And
he goes hard on his defense.
He goes very hard on his defense. And he does pepper it in with things like, this isn't malicious. This is just like, it and again, like if you've ever read anything Ayn Rand has wrote, like The Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged, she is very like, I'ma do me. I'm out for number one. Everything in her is talking about how it's like, me first.
Yeah.
Me first in the gimme gimmes, as you always say, right?
Yeah, it's a good band.
It is a good band. They do some good covers. That is a very Aquarius trait, okay? Yeah. Ayn Rand was an Aquarian. That's why I bring this up. We share the same birthday. And so like you can get into that place of like just cutting being very cutting when you're saying things and just out for yourself. And Craig gets into that spot and it's not a good look.
Yeah.
And he does it even more so when he's drinking, which again is a doubly bad look.
Yeah.
And I think if you were really genuinely his friend, you'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
You're coming in hot
On
of a scene you don't even remember. We named it Justice for Rose. No, that's a throwback for anyone who remembers when we used to cover the Golden Bachelor, which I really miss.
This was just the regular Bachelor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, that was
Yeah.
the Golden Bachelor. Bachelorette was super fun to cover though.
Yeah.
But point being is, you would say like, "Whoa, buddy, like hold on. You think you're being attacked right now. I'm not trying to do that. I get it. You don't like Salley." And then we would take the temperature down. This is if Austen really meant like, no, I do want to move forward. And if Craig really meant I do want to move forward, but both of them just get lit up. And then we're back with pouring, gasoline and matches.
Yeah. And Austen storming out going, let's go to the panty raid. It only reminds me of Revenge of the Nerds.
Same. Samesies. I mean, listen, it was cute when they were making the pizzas. The entire time they were there, I was just saying like to myself, tell Salley you are going on a date with him, Charlie. Charlie, open your mouth. Could someone just tap Charlie on the shoulder so that she could let this girl know? But Charlie's just a more timid person, and you could tell she was never going to say it at this slumber party, or maybe she would, but it's just going to take her a lot more liquid courage, and she wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
And the guys roll in. Austen is so, like, he knows he has the tea. He wants them sat, and he is going to spill it. He didn't even need Salley to ask him. And by the way, Salley is kind of a whirling dervish. She is a little bit messy. She was like, spill the tea. Tell me what you got. Oh my God, I love this. She wanted to hear that. So like even though Craig said it in such an off, nasty way, he should have never said it that way.
Yeah.
Or just don't say it at all because it's unkind and you don't need to say it.
I want to just rewind to that top of that scene when Venita arrives. Madison says what happened. I guess Craig told Salley he's not into it. The smile strapped.
She lit up like a Christmas tree.
Like, I would love to give her the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, was this some Frankenstein clips? Did they take smiles from other parts of the conversation? Because if not, you are the devil. Like it was just like the smiles were like giddy, pure joy shooting out of her eyeballs at her friend just getting rejected.
No, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, if you are really friends, right?
Yeah.
You would say, listen, I'm not happy that this happened to her, but I'm happy it happened because I didn't want her to be chasing after a dude that I didn't think was right for her and she wasn't right for him. Like, I thought she was going to get hurt. I don't want her to get hurt, but at least she knows now before anything's happened. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. And none of that.
No, not even close.
And then later when Salley gets there and actually tells the story, well, Madison's like, hope you don't mind, I already told everyone. She's like, oh, I'll tell everyone right now. So she wasn't looking to keep it a secret. She was actually, and like knowing that like there was that shot that Venita could feel some sort of, victory. But I almost don't even know if Salley even thought about that because she came out with it right away and was like, he looked at me like I was insane for thinking anything about he didn't look at you like you were insane. Everything he said was very straight up and straightforward. And I'm sorry that you've never not gotten what you wanted before, but like it's gonna happen again. If it's never happened before, then you had a good run. Great
run.
Girl. Yeah. Venita goes, told you so. Who says that to anyone ever? Like, are you 12 years old?
That was rough.
No self-control, no tact. Even if you are truly an asshole, you've been on TV long enough to know, like, I'd like to come off likable here. Everyone loves the empathetic friend. Everyone loves a friend who doesn't shove the winning in their face, who isn't like so dead set on being right and going to tell you that she was right. I'm telling everyone here. And then she has the audacity to say, why didn't you call me? The fact that Salley even answered the question was like, good on you. Like, because you did not need to answer that question. I would have laughed my ass off and been like, is this a real question? Like, this is cartoonish. And she says, because you told me not to call you if anything were to go wrong. And then Benita Venita goes, yeah, okay, don't get snippy or don't get sassy with me or something. And she's like, what do you, don't get, Sally's just sitting here living her life, answering questions, being put on the spot, happy to tell you about it. And like, you cannot control yourself for 5 friggin' seconds. And then she says, well, I'm not mad at you. And Salley, rightfully so, says, why would you be mad at me? And Vinita's like, are you kidding? And then Salley says, wow, which I'm so glad she said this because I've been saying it all along. She goes, you love it when I talk about Craig like this, like, because you never want to hear about Craig unless I'm talking shit on him, because this whole thing has been about Venita's beef with Craig. It never had anything to do with Salley. She was never looking out for her friend. She was just pissed that she wasn't winning. She set out on a mission to fight and she couldn't get a punch in. She's too little. Craig was just doing this and she was just like swinging, you know? For her to then get up and leave, I don't know, like, God, and you're a pussy. Like, and you want to fight who you want to start fights with. You want to spar with your friend, and then you leave the second they bring it to your doorstep or answer the door that you knocked on. And like, oh my God, could you have had a worse show?
No, it was interesting because nobody likes a sore winner.
Yeah.
Right? And I just think she didn't handle it well. And also, you did, like, for whatever, this isn't the right term, but like you did win-ish, right, in this area. So like, why wouldn't you just stay and kind of like hang back in the cut a little bit and just see what unravels from here? Because it's only to your benefit if this is a tit for tat kind of situation, you know?
How great would it have been if she just sat there and was nodding, and then the edit went back and forth to her confessional, and she was just sitting there like, I didn't want to be right, but I knew this was like, she could have played this whole thing so
much better,
differently. And like, and the fact that she can't see that,
it would have won her friends and influenced people.
Exactly. And she would have left with people having to admit, even though I still say that like, I am definitely semantics on this.
Yeah.
Because like, I just don't, all the things that she was saying, I don't think they were right. But she still, because, you know, people are second screening. They don't remember all those things. We're just, you know, here to do a job. So like, we remember the specifics. But most people would have just been like, oh, I guess she was right about that. Yeah, she didn't like her. Oh, now she's gonna go off with her friend. That's gonna be a whole thing. She should have just listened to Venita. But she blew that for herself. How sad is that? How old are you? Like, how long have you been in this business? How long have you seen how an editor will cut whatever they want? Like, you gave them no choice. You didn't even let the sentence finish without going, Toldja.
Which kind of reminds me of like, maybe, I don't know, when you were a kid and like you just lost that friend, was there some of this behavior in there that was like a little, you know, not easy to be friends with someone that's going to do that?
Yeah.
Because we're all going to be wrong. We're all going to get it wrong. We're all going to screw up.
Yeah.
And I just think you're looking for your friends to be a soft place to be like, listen, I'm so sorry that you got the raw end of that deal. And yes, did I call it on a certain level? Maybe. But I didn't want this to be true because I love you and I just want you to be happy. And I am sorry that this is how the chips fell or whatever.
She could have said, God, I really feel bad for telling you not to call me now because all I want to do is be there for you.
Yes.
And then like, I wish I was the first person that you called. And then I just, what a winning exit of this whole thing. What a winning way. You would have won and you are the empathetic, good friend.
Now you're the people's princess.
Now you're the, yes, for Venita, for the people.
Again, Craig, you don't like Austen. Austen, you don't like Craig. So let's just call a spade a spade. And I hope that, because this is what I was thinking, hearkening back to what we were talking about earlier, when it's like, when has Craig really had an A storyline? Craig, you want an A storyline? Stand on business with how you really feel about Craig and go and let that be your honest storyline that's going to get top billing, because we just want to see you guys friends, because we did see you as friends before and it was really sweet. And who doesn't love a good bromance? And it's like, you're sitting here having a conversation saying, oh yeah, let's get past this. Let's whatever the nuts and bolts of the one at Miss Pat's gentleman's party was. That's the gist of it. And then as soon as you have a bad night with him, instead of waiting until you're sober to call him and say, listen, We got off track so quickly last night, and I don't want to do that. I want to nip this in the bud so that we can get back to a healthy relationship. What do? You go over to a group of women, one of which who was just rejected by him, the other who's going on a date with him, and you walk into the bee's nest and you were like, let's start poking the hives, okay? And you sat there like, let's kiki, girls. Look what I got this piping hot tea. Who wants a cup?
You know what that is? A bait-ass bitch.
Yeah. Listen, Craig was wrong with so much of what he said. 100%.
Yeah.
But if you really want to be friends with this person, Austen, that's not how you handle this situation, number one. Number two, there were things that he used extreme artistic license with, I think. He didn't say, I'm done with Salley. He didn't say, I don't want to be your friend anymore. And he also said, I'm not saying this to be malicious. So like, can we weave some of that into the story when you're also saying the shitty stuff that he said that he needs to own?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like you have to leave all that out. I'm just saying I don't think you accurately said the shitty stuff he said and the stuff that like would have also not made this girl feel like crap.
Yeah.
Because in you doing that, you're going to make Salley feel shitty.
She feels shitty, and now everyone knows everything that this guy said about her.
And some things that weren't even said.
And some things, exactly. Then to drop the bomb and go, and she doesn't think you can be, he doesn't think you can be yourself in front of her. Now you've brought Charlie, who's just trying to keep it together and stay over here to the side, kind of out of the shot. You could just kind of tell she's just kind of inching away. Like this is a very uncomfortable moment. And for Austen to just like reckless abandon, just like drop all of that shit. Like it wasn't just about telling on Craig. It was about getting the entire room to be anti-Craig because that would be a winning ticket for Austen. Austen wants everyone here to get off this Craig train already. I'm going to tell you all what a jerk he is. And I'm going to do it in a way where like, there's no quite like you will, if you don't think he's a jerk now, then like you weren't listening to me because, and then to put Charlie on the spot like that. And I got to say, Charlie should have said something. But I think the hardest person to have that conversation with would have been Salley because Salley from the jump is like we talked about is the girl that like
he's on everything.
Yeah. What did you say? Oh, all my things are at Craig's. Oh, these are all Craig's clothes.
Yeah, she's the girl in the locker room that says things that aren't really true so that the other girl who she knows likes Craig gets all upset.
Yeah. And it would be one thing if weeks ago, after you've already displayed what you have, where you're pissing over everything, marking this territory loud and proud, telling everybody so that everyone knows to stay away. That's just such a bad look. It's such a show of insecurity that you've got to like basically make everyone feel bad to not pursue someone that they might like just as much as you like. Yeah. But you've already put them on the like, oh, now I would be ashamed because she did say it first. Now it's going to look like I'm not trying to compete for this guy, but like,
this just naturally kind of happened. Yeah. And now I feel like a bad friend, even though I haven't even done anything.
I haven't done anything. And you called him, you put stakes on him before I even knew him. Like what I said about the, like, you both see a hot guy at a party, but like, I want to know that this person actually can put two words together before I'm going to say I'm going for him. But she doesn't waste time on that. She just immediately says, I like him. Everyone knows that girl.
That's why the car has to be in the line of sight before you call shotgun. Yes. Everyone has to see it in order for it to be fair, because it's not like you just really throw everything into an unfair playing field, I think, when you approach the situation the way Salley has with Charlie specifically here.
Yeah, it's gross. That's another thing. Nobody wants someone who is going to rub it in your face when you're wrong, and nobody wants a friend that like just basically makes you put you on the like, oh, I guess I don't get that. I guess I don't have a shot at that. Or I guess I just won't even consider that because she did not even know Craig. I don't know how many weeks have gone by from the time that she said, well, what if he asked you on a date? Would you go? I can understand how Charlie would go, no, I wouldn't. I'm not interested in going. I'm not interested in going on a date with him because I don't know him yet.
It's also, I don't know him yet. And you have a knife to my throat. Yeah. And if I say yes, you're going to make a quick, swift move across my neck. Yeah. Like she gave her no other. How about this? She did give her another recourse, but Salley is a very strong personality.
Exactly. So no one's running to do it.
That's right. You don't really want to go against her. And Charlie is clearly a more timid,
Yeah.
quiet, non-confrontational person.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so when this loud, big personality comes in the room being like, well, would you even say yes if he asked you on a date? It's like, no. No one's even asked me on a date. I'm thinking of joining a convent.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to get out of the line of fire. You
Yeah.
just don't want to have conflict.
And not pose like a threat to someone that you're at the party with.
And I don't
Like,
even know
that's-
this person. So like,
Yeah.
do I want to die on this hill? No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
it's
He
just
seems like
not
he
a-
has small hands from here. I don't know.
Correct. And even up close he does. Like it's not a fair thing to do. And I
Yeah.
think, and the adult response is like, listen, I just want to let you know, like, I know you're new to meeting everyone. I have a crush on Craig. Like, who knows what's going to happen? I just kind of like want to throw that out there because maybe, I don't know, maybe he's not going to like me. Maybe he's going to like somebody else. I just want to say that so I know that I've said it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so just in case, you know, like
Yeah.
whatever, that covers your bases in a very non-confrontational way.
Yeah.
Not, you wouldn't go on a date if he asked you, would you? It's like, you know, a very aggressive stance to take.
After all of that happens and Salley finds out or hears whatever, everything that Austen has to say and has basically lit the entire room on fire. Talk about a vibe killer. First of all, Austen, you're even. Craig told the world, I don't think you want to be in your relationship anymore. And we all...
But Rodrigo helped. Let's not put that whole best scene of the whole episode on Austen. Rodrigo
Oh
definitely.
yeah, totally. No.
With that.
Rodrigo definitely stoked the fire for sure.
It did feel like he only was saying things after they were already out there, though. Like
He's the one that brought up the Craig
date.
and Charlie date. Like not all. Austen was saying that Craig was lighting up Salley at the bar. Then Rodrigo was like, "You guys don't
Say so much bad stuff about Craig
you're
because Charlie's going to go
scaring
on a date with
Charlie.
him.
They're going on
Yes.
a date." So like he brought up that was what like Craig shitting on Salley. Like, okay, are any of us surprised that happened? No one in that room was surprised. Salley was upset, sure, because she literally just told the guy she likes him. But like the real kicker was the date. Like that was the part that was like,
Totally.
oh shit, what? Annie asked this girl out on a date, which he said at the bar, "Oh, it's not a date." He told the boys it wasn't a date. Okay, Craig, pick a side, bro. It's a date, and you asked her out on a date. Even her mom thinks so. So like, I think Rodrigo. But Austen kind of lit the candles. Rodrigo threw a friggin' bomb on that cake and blew that whole thing up.
Austen brought Charlie into it and said, she feels weird around you. She feels like you can't be yourself around her. Even if Rodrigo beat him to the punch in saying, and they're going on a date.
Yeah.
I feel like Austen was on his way there because he already.
I think it was only a matter of time before Austen
Yeah.
said it if Rodrigo didn't say
Because
it.
otherwise, what? Like Salley would be like, "Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? How does that work? She can't be herself in front of me. What would even? How would he even say that? Like,
Yeah,
why
why
does
would
he
that
even
get brought
say
up?
that? Yeah, and then Austen, I'm sure would have.
Because that's why he asked her out on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, listen, Rodrigo definitely added fuel to that fire for sure. I do think Austen took the lead on driving that nail into Craig's coffin, and I agree with you. We're even.
Yeah, we're
The
even.
playing
You guys
fields-
both could not wait to out each other in front of way too many people, and and that shit is malicious. You guys both. Like, well, or it was with reckless abandon. Like it's your intentions. You had good intentions. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but this is my point with Austen. Like, you want to play eye for an eye. I'm cool with that, but you got to own it. So like, what do the kids say? Stand on business with it, Austen. So don't sit there and make up with Craig or say you want to move forward in a healthy way and then go in there into that slumber party and say everything you said. Say, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth, Craig. I think you have the worst side of you comes out when you're drinking. I'm not going to say you have a drinking problem, but you said it last season, so maybe you should look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that you're a terrible friend. I think you say malicious things when your back is up against the wall, and I have no desire to have you back in my life. Say that and then walk into that slumber party, and I actually would be not cheering you on, but I would be like, well done.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
But
you made a choice.
that's right. And
Yeah.
you're standing clearly as someone who doesn't like this dude and I am out to take you down come hell or high water.
Yeah.
But don't say you want to move forward and then go do that. That's
No.
where I would respect Austen if he just said, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. You say real nasty stuff when you're drunk, and I don't want anyone like that in a 20-mile radius of me. So I'm out on you, bro.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I would understand that.
No, totally.
Because Craig
you guys are
does-
friends right now. You guys are oil and water. Like, it's not working. The phases that you're both in, you're both trying to find something. You're in very transitional phases, and you need to transition yourselves on your own. This isn't a 2-man band here. It's like, it doesn't work. Clearly, the things that you're going for, if the other one is only setting them on fire, then like you are, I don't know, when you're dissing yourself, like you're getting in your own way. Like let it go. This friendship is not happening right now. The dumbest moment that Salley had in this is that it only takes her, after this whole thing, us seeing her point of view this entire time, it only takes for her to get rejected and basically now she's in a beef with Craig, because she said if he was here right now, I would slap him across the face. How dare you? So clearly now they're in a fight, which I don't even know I wonder if Craig will be surprised. Like, I wonder if he's going to get a phone call from Salley tomorrow and have no idea that any of this went down and be like, oh my God, Austen said all that stuff. Okay, wow. Anyhow, after all of that, it took her half a second to look at Charlie and go, he's just going to manipulate you too. You won't believe me. He's going to do it to you too. And you won't believe it, but you'll see. You'll just watch. And I'm like, you're Vanita. All y'all. You guys deserve each other. Right off into the sunset, all of you. You guys are actually the perfect group of friends because you're all assholes.
I had that exact. I'm like, you're doing to her what she did to you.
Immediately. Does no one watch the show?
The body isn't even cold.
Again, have none of you been in this business long enough to know how to go out on a good note, best for you?
Yeah.
If it is going to be all about you and you're going to live for you, applause. Use your brain, then. You're not doing it right.
Wait, sorry, and then we can stop and go into comments because I know we've been going on way too long about this episode. It was a good meaty episode.
Yeah.
I thought when Austen and Winifred were at the bar talking, and he was like, "Listen, it was kind of a non-apology because he apologized, but he said but." And I agree with Austen. If you are apologizing, I am so sorry that I hurt you from saying X, Y, and Z. That's a clear apology. I'm sorry. You state what you did wrong, and now we're all clear about it, right? If there's a but in an apology, to me and to really most healed people or anyone that's gone to therapy once, this isn't an apology. So
I disagree with that on this specific case because of this particular argument.
But this is, yes, you can, but let me just say this one thing really quickly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were moving on. That's why I was
no. I understood what Craig was trying to say when he's like, I'm really sorry. He needs to split those two things up and say, I'm really sorry that I said what I said about you. Do you accept that apology? And then Austen can say yes. And then Craig can say, I would like to just also talk about the fact that I was really hurt and this is why I did that. Does that make sense to you? And then maybe Austen offers an apology for that. But they have to be two separate things, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where Austen, if you are Mr. I know that a butt doesn't belong in a therapy,
an apology,
then say that when you're in the conversation.
Yeah.
If you really want to move forward with this person, say, I just have to stop you because I know you're trying to apologize. I can't hear it as an apology because you're mashing it up with also what you feel I did wrong. And I just think these are two separate things. So can you just take ownership for the fact that you said something that could have been super detrimental to my relationship and that was hurtful to me?
Yeah.
If you knew it was wrong, say it to Craig in the moment. Don't wait and say it to Winchester 2 days later at a bar.
You don't go into a conversation like that and with a true, you want to fix this. You're hoping for the best. And you're telling everyone, whether it's what's her name, Audrey, whoever else he was with that he told this to. I knew that he couldn't give an apology. So I'm just waiting to see. Am I right about he was equally as happy for Craig to fail in the apology, he probably would have been happier for the failure because they're just not, they're not meant to be friends right now. So like even an apology is not going to change what tomorrow brings, because you guys are still going to wake up exactly who you are in this moment tomorrow morning. Now, maybe in 2 years from now, totally different story. But right now, that's the thing. This argument stems from, this apology is all about the costume party. Mm-hmm. And at the costume party, Craig did say he was sorry. I wish I wouldn't have said that. Their discussion as they're having this, and they get to Craig saying, I'm sorry, is them both saying, wow, I think that this was a lot of miscommunication. We both thought that we were past this. We're clearly not. I didn't know where you were coming from. Like they're verbalizing that they don't know how this happened because they weren't expecting it from the other one and whatever. So if you're going to say, like, I understand the principle of the but in an apology, that is a rule across the board. Yeah. Like that is the general default answer all the time. In this specific argument, if both of them are saying that they don't know why the other one is pissed, I would rather have an apology that also includes an explanation of why I did that, because you just told me you had no idea how this happened and why. And it's like people get pissed. Like another popular complaint is when someone does go, oh, I'm sorry about that. And this is usually in couples, but you guys may as well be a couple. Like you argue like you are in a romantic relationship. But women often will say, you don't even know what you're sorry for. You know, we want you to tell us like why this happened. Yeah. And because I think women, probably everyone, but I'll speak for myself. This woman is, wants to know that like we both understand what happened here.
That's right.
So it doesn't happen again. Because if I leave here thinking that I don't need you to tell me you're right, I did that. But I need you to say like, I understand how you got from here to here, whether it was rational or not or whatever, like the track is there. I'm just something to say like, you know why I was so pissed.
Yeah, it gives you clarity and insight into what's going on.
That it's not going to happen again tomorrow or next week. You're going to let your guard down.
We're all on the
whole
same
thing.
page now.
Exactly.
I just want to say, I really think at the 2 and 43 minute mark, I have gotten real clarity on Austen.
Yeah.
An overarching clarity as to like a fundamental thing going on with him. He's, you know that saying, stand in the middle of the road and you'll get hit? That's why, like, you gotta pick a side.
Yeah.
Austen gets hit with stuff, and he is that perennial victim of what, you know. But it was, you know, she was just on my couch, and we were just consoling each other, and Craig was mean to me, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because he's not picking a side. He doesn't pick a side in his relationship. He just kind of coasts along until it has to end.
Yeah.
Because she gets fed up and wants something more. In his relationship with Craig, he doesn't pick a side. He hates him, but then he says, I want to be friends with you, and tries to make it work. But I hate you, but I'm going to make it work. But I hate you, but I'm going to make it work. In his business, it's like, I have this business, but like, I don't see you wearing a Trop Hop t-shirt. I don't hear you really saying like, I am focused this year and doing. When Bethany Frankel was on The Real Housewives of New York, every other word out of her mouth was skinny girl. I'm a natural foods chef. Skinny girl. Yeah. I'm a natural food chef. She was pushing all of that. He's just so not here, not there, just in the middle of the road in every area of his life. He has like analysis paralysis. He cannot make a decision and really stand on it and put the pedal to the metal and be like, Craig, I am out on you, period. Trop Hop, you are my life. Audrey, let's get married, have 4 kids, and live in Charlotte. Yeah. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is a theme for him.
No, it totally is. The whole reason that I brought up the Nick Viall thing earlier, and why I started off with like, this is kind of dark, so sorry, but I'm just curious if, because this is, in this particular instance, a lot of people are coming to Austen's aid and giving him a lot of accolade and being like, his family's the nicest family. Austen's great. I hope that they have apologized. Like it spurred a lot of people to want to go and help Austen and raise him up. And I wonder if Austen will see this for the opportunity it is. Again, I know it is the business. When you got to strike when the iron is hot. And Austen does not strike me as a person who ever recognizes that like right now he should be making he should be on every podcast doing whatever and just getting fans. Like right now, everybody wants to like Austen because they all feel that he was wronged in something. Yeah. And I bet you he's just coasting along, womp womp, talking shit on Craig, talking shit on whatever. He's just uninspired.
Yeah, he just doesn't take a stand on any and I'm not talking even about the Nick Viall thing. I'm talking about like from what we see of him on the show, like when Craig and Paige were dating, and Paige is like, "This is insane. You guys live in the same city, but you don't film the podcast together."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because he's hungover or doesn't want to come here. And I'm not saying Craig is the perfect business person or podcast mate or whatever, but like you just can see like the way we can see the theme with Craig of like you're pushed against, you think you're backed into a corner and you are a pit viper the way that you fight back, and that ain't cool. That's a pattern for you, Craig. The not drinking and holding your liquor well is drinking and not being able to hold your liquor well is a pattern for you.
Yeah.
This is a pattern for Austen.
Yeah.
In every area. Work, romance, friends.
If no one watched how Austen came, like I said, rushed to Sally's aid and then rushed over and told her everything and seemed really offended by what Craig just being loose-lipped and saying what he said. Like, yeah, it was offensive. If I'm there and I'm Sally's best friend, I'm going to say something. But the way that Austen said it, it's so clearly to me, Austen is interested in Salley. Austen probably kind of hates, just like Craig's like, I'm not going to date anyone who's banged Shep. Like, it's just not happening. I hate that. I don't like seeing any woman
ridiculous.
have to pay for something that just has nothing to do with you. But I do understand that it's a thing. It's a shitty thing, but it's a thing. Austen now is basically probably pissed that like, this girl that like, because I think that he sees a little bit of Madison in her. I think it's the first time I've seen him actually, like, I think that they're going to have a run at something. And I think it's also that he probably would like to do another relationship on the show because that always helps both people. They rise 10 times faster than they do on their own. And he wants out of this relationship with Audrey. Next week, we're going to see him basically being the guy that we have said, that you said, like, just standing on it and being like, no, this guy sucks.
As a boyfriend.
Yeah, this guy is the worst boyfriend ever. And he's going to show it. He's going to prove himself to be that guy and doing shitty things when all he's trying to is he's been wasting his time tonight talking shit about the shitty things that Craig's doing to Salley. No, you're about to do that shitty thing to the one person who stood by you while you had the dumbest seasons of your life.
Two things really quickly. One, I think that Austen doesn't care maybe Salley was going to hook up with Craig. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe they did and we're not telling anyone. I don't think that he cares about it at all because I think Craig is thinking, oh, I'll come in and I'll be the best boyfriend ever. And I'll make we're going to have this shining star, sparkly, beautiful relationship. Like, I think that's where his head's at. I don't think he cares at all about that stuff. But also,
Craig or Austen?
I'm sorry, Austen. Austen is going to do that with I think in his mind, when Austen's running through the front doors at Madison, so ready to say all this stuff, it's like, because now I'm the hero, right?
Yeah,
and like then we're going to have this great relationship, or like we'll hook up, and it's going to be like she'll realize it was so much more fun with me than it was with you, because maybe it's annoying that you hooked up with that person, but it cancels that out. I'm a better lay, or like I made her happy and you didn't, or whatever the stupid comparison competition thing that is that people can have. But what I wanted to tell you, because you always say this, Austen said it on the podcast, the Nick Viall podcast, and then I had this relationship with Madison, and she was the only, what was different about Madison than all the other girls I dated was she treated me horribly, and I just wanted more. You always say that about him.
I didn't even hear that. But this is hilarious. Did you watch the after show? Mm-mm. I have to play this one part because I'm like, wow, I was really using metaphors and thinking that people were going to bite back and be like, what are you talking about? Why do you think he's into this and that? Get in a cuck chair, wear a gimp mask, and reject me. I have said, Austen wants to be treated like the dirty piece of shit that he is. He wants you to tie him up and whip him and tell him what a awful, horrible, bad, like that. And then he literally says, I'm going to like put on a costume basically so you can reject me all day long. Like he gets off on it. Like I was joking. But I always felt that vibe from him that he wants to be pushed around and told to f off.
I just also need to say something to you, Austen. It is 100% a G move to walk up to, I'm a straight chick, so I can only talk from my perspective, okay? To walk up to a woman and say, I would love to take you out on a date. Are you free this Saturday night? That is amazing.
Yep.
But then, Austen, here's where you're failing. You then need to back that up with, I am a man who consistently leads with intention. And I'm not just trying to get that big splash, bang, boom, bash moment of I asked you out on a date. I would much rather have the guy who's the slow burn in the beginning saying like, let's take it slow. And by the way, I don't even want a slow burn. I want the guy to come up to me and be like, let's go out on a date. But then I want you to follow it up with, I really liked you. Let's do the second date. We've been dating for a while. Do you want to move in together? Now that we're moving in together, do you want to get married? Like that, you can't start off by showing yourself as like, I'm a pedal to the metal kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then you peter out after you realize like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to always be that guy. You want to actually have a real relationship that lasts longer than a year and a half? Yeah, I'm looking for a life partner. I would rather have the guy that's like a little timid in the beginning, just trying to figure out like, let's hang out. Let's see if we like each other. And then he is solidly there every day showing up. And he's the one really putting the pedal to the metal. Like you can't sit there and say, I'm going to be this guy. And then you just drop the ball after that, because then it negates the fact that you came up to me and clearly asked me out on a date. Do you know what I'm saying? Can't play smart and stupid at the same time.
All of that. And I feel like what I took from this and what I believe, because he just told me, but I also believe it's what he means. I think that her saying, sure, yeah, is when the petering out starts.
Yes.
I think that would rather get rejected because that's invigorating to him. And it's like, he also now doesn't have to, plan a date, pick you up, call and confirm, and then, put on a good performance, and then whatever is after that. Like, I think he would rather you reject him. He gets off more on that. And
you call that so hard.
And listen, I'm not over here being like, because I really was joking about all the other stuff, but for him to say, put me in a cuck chair and put an imp mask on me and tell me horrible things, like, you need a therapist.
He has one. He talks about it on.
He needs to get a ChatGPT therapist. I also want to say that Madison, they have a talk at the very end. If you guys haven't watched the after show, it's actually really good. At the end of it, Madison talks about how she also uses it. And I think that she had a great point. She said, yes, you should also see a person, a human being. And Craig does. He does both. According to him, in the after show, he does both. The thing about this, and this is also why, like, I'm still like I still like don't go to therapy and whatever, is because like I've had some lovely people, but I've also like, especially the ones that take insurance, they're the worst. Like, I feel like you had a good one, and then I'm like, oh, do they take Blue Shield, whatever? And you're like, they don't take insurance.
Anything.
They take nothing. All the good ones are cash only. Whatever your Blue Shield's paying for is not great. Unless you just get super lucky. I should say that. I don't want to generalize all insurance taking therapists. Everyone's going to start somewhere. But Madison said, I don't have time to spend 3 sessions telling you all from start to beginning, all the things. Like, it takes a long time. ChatGPT remembers every single thing that I say. This thing knows me now. It doesn't forget anything. I also need someone to talk back to me. A lot of times in therapy, you're just talking, and they're just sitting there listening. I have been in that chair so often being like, is this guy going to say anything?
Oh, I've never had that experience.
Oh my God. It's because you go to better therapists than I do. They literally sit there the entire time. And like, I understand the whole, like, no, you're here to talk. I'm here to listen. I'm not supposed to tell you what to do. I'm supposed to lead you to, or what, like they've got all their reasons and excuses.
Yeah.
I personally think that they are dumbing out thinking about what they're making for dinner tonight because the insurance is only giving them $40 of whatever the bill would be, $350, but there's all, they don't talk back. ChatGPT will talk back to you. And yes, it does tell you a lot of, it builds you up a lot. And
It's a yes machine on a certain level with telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah. But I also think that the talks that I have, it might start off with that, but then it quickly leads into, but I think you might be conflating this with that. And one thing doesn't mean the other. And so I think anybody, that's just like a good MO to just start off with a praise. So the person feels heard and seen, and like we're starting off on a good note before they tell you that your life is in shambles. Like that's just good therapy.
Yeah.
If you want to be heard. So I thought, the case for both. Like anybody who knocks on ChatGPT as a therapist, I don't think has ever really given it a shot because you would be blown away by the shit that you get from these robots. It is next level.
I do believe in both. Like have your real human therapist and then talk to ChatGPT, because I think where ChatGPT is really strong is a lot of times there are things that happen in my life that I don't need to see. I don't need to necessarily bring this to my therapist and waste, $300 of this person of $300 of my dollars an hour of time to talk about this, where it is just something that like I can refine this with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And because it's just something I'm obsessing over. And by the time I actually have to send that email or have that conversation with that person, it doesn't even bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've hashed out every question or whatever with ChatGPT. And now I'm at such like a not charged place that I can speak like a normal human being. And then for the bigger life stuff, I will bring that to therapy.
A therapist is someone that you're going to build a relationship with and know that's going to take a lot of time. If you have something that's happening in that moment and you're going manic over it and it's really like like you've got a big thing at work this week.
And
like
all your friends are busy.
Yeah. And like you just don't have time to, like you need to sort this out right now. If I called my therapist, I'm talking a 2-week out schedule. Like you can't, like nobody's available.
Even if it's not 2 weeks, I have to have this meeting with my boss on Tuesday and my therapy session's on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's simple math. I got it. Bippity bop. And you've now thank you, ChatGPT. You've given me the language that like, I know I'm comfortable saying this and also I'm calm now. You've just diffused my anxious energy.
Yes.
And I think it's
so by the time you get to your therapist, you might actually have more clarity in what the issue is. And then you can use them.
Yeah. It's like an aid to therapy.
Yeah. It's the teacher's aid.
Well, we've really covered a lot this episode.
Yeah.
All right, on to comments finally, 3 days later. Kevin, listen, bro, I'm sorry. We didn't get to the Kayla and Aaron thing. Next time, we'll talk all about it. We're 12 hours in here. But I promise, we'll get to it. Meteor One. Also, side note, very Niners, bro. All day. The Niners won the craziest game. I can't even believe it. We both almost had heart attacks. Well, 3 more games, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Wait, is Barry like from the West Coast and he just lives?
He's from New Jersey.
Okay, well then why is he a San Francisco fan?
Because he's
it's a free
Silicon
country.
Valley guy.
Sure. I just, I thought maybe if
Because he's smart. That's why.
Okay.
He's a smart, intelligent, respectful man.
Okay,
That's why
listen,
he's a
From
Niners
New
fan.
Jersey.
I wouldn't even ask this kind of question, but you've led me to believe that like you got to stick with your team, your home team, and like that's why you don't leave the Giants, or that's why you can't like the
There's no
Dodgers.
football team in New Jersey. The
Well,
closest
technically
one
there
is
is.
Okay, but-
It's the Giants and they play in New Jersey, but
the what Giants?
they call them the New York Giants, but they play in New Jersey. It's like the London of what the
Why do you think you just got that right? She's saying that they play in New Jersey. He
For what?
lived in
They're
New.
the
He's
New
from New
York
Jersey.
Giants. They can play wherever they
Well,
want.
he
They're not
also
the
No, but
New
that's why
now-
Jersey
most people
Giants.
from New Jersey really like the Giants because they play.
What about the Jets?
Do the Jets play? in New
Doesn't
Jersey?
matter. Both those teams suck ass and have forever.
Okay, well, the
that's
Dodgers
why.
are the greatest team ever, and you cannot get on board with them at all because you've got this mentality that like you got to stick with this.
Well,
Dance with the
I
one that
mean,
brought you.
I think that like you got to stick with the team that you chose as a child, but like that's dumb. That's just my thing. Jerry Rice was my first sports hero. I fell in love with the Niners. I quickly fell in love with San Francisco. It's the only place I've ever been that this was a long time ago, not now, unfortunately, that I fell in love with. I thought it was the most amazing place on earth. So I just went to San Francisco, the Giants, the Niners, and then Kobe. But I'm from California, so I can do that. I don't have I got a whole other thing with these Southern California fake ass teams. Anywho, Barry, aka Meteor Wine. P.S. In the UK, it's called a bum bag. Fanny describing the forward section, or as apropos to the mullet, business in the front, party in the back.
A fanny pack. They call them a bum bag. Oh my God.
You got a bum bag.
So cute.
That is cute.
Joe Schmo, my sister from another mother. It doesn't rhyme, but whatever.
Sister
I'm
from
still
another
dying
mister.
and have no voice. So I feel you, my brother from another mother. I hope you're feeling better. I keep thinking I'm going to feel better every day, and then I don't. I'm pretty sure I'll be sick for the rest of my life. Paris, you're welcome. You'll have this voice forever.
ChatGPT says that that's a good sign.
Yeah, I felt that way a week ago.
That you turn
so-
the corner when you feel like, well, I guess this is my life now. It's a telltale. It's a telltale sign. that
Wait,
it's-
really
the
quick.
end
You're
is
like
near.
Phoebe in Friends. Remember when she was singing Smelly Cat and like all the songs and she sounded better when she was sick? And then when
Yeah.
it started going away, she was licking Monica's cup to get the cold back.
Yeah.
You're Phoebe. You sound better sick.
Yeah.
Pat Clark, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
And congrats on the new iPad.
They have both very exciting things.
Yeah. And I hope it stopped raining and lightning so you could go play golf. Nicole Slade, odd statement coming through. I think perhaps Vanita is in love with Salley. The vibrations and emotions are too high for a seemingly platonic friendship. Simply food for thought. Great content as usual. And reading that and rethinking about that scene, I don't think it's that odd at all. Also, say what you will about Vanita. When she popped out in those PJs, she's cute as hell. And that is never going to change.
She is so cute.
I don't even find her cute anymore. I'm so
I do. I
annoyed
find
with her.
goddamn adorable.
Listen, it's the same way with like guys that I think are hot.
I know.
If you show a pattern of bad behavior, I'm
You're out
grossed
on 'em.
out by you. Yeah. So now I'm just like, and that's a dumb dress.
That explains a lot. Amy Andy J also thought the same thing. She chimed in on that. Nicole Quinlan, nobody asked, but Shep's Cuba trips make me very uncomfortable. Like, why? What are you getting away with in Cuba? Valid point.
Like, why? That could have been the whole comment and it would have landed just the same.
Perfectly.
Like, why?
Loretta M1J, the show is repetitious. The bro affair between Craig and Austen needs to stop. They need some more storylines. From your mouth to God's ears, or whoever's ears.
That reminds me of the argument between Jesse Lawley and his soon-to-be ex-wife at the time, where they just the going back and forth all like no one cares about this argument anymore. I think we named a episode "This War is a Bore."
Yeah.
Like it's yawn.
Nicole Quinlan, Spam and Taylor Ham are different rooms, but the same house.
Yes, and I had a comment about that
Clarification.
because Mike said, but Spam's better. And I said, you can't say that because you've never had
yeah.
Taylor Ham.
But in fact, I did say it, and I told you that in the
No,
comments.
I know, but I'm just saying it makes no sense.
But
No,
it does.
Mike. There's things Mike is allowed to do that other people you got to fall in line.
I told you guys, it's 2026. Everyone's allowed to do whatever they want now.
Okay.
Say whatever you want, act however you want.
Oh, great. So we can just act like men.
Marty Hans 303. The Google machine says Jägermeister, often pronounced Jägermeister or Jäger, is a German word that literally translates to master hunter, which to me, that sums up why Whitney would get that tattoo as a young man all day long, because he's delusional in the fact that he thinks he's a master hunter of the ladies. Nettie, listen, we agree on everything. I did find out that Nettie loves Craig. That's fine. We'll still get along. Wow, Whitner, I'm sure your mama taught you better, mama's boy. You don't go to any dinner party empty-handed. And to Miss Pat, what? No manners.
Oh my God. Okay. So on the after show was packed with stuff.
I didn't even know they had an after show. That's how busy
No,
I've been.
it only has one episode so far, and
Okay.
it just came out this. I didn't realize it either. I just watched it today.
I'm going to watch it this weekend.
funny thing about that is that Whitner's in there talking about that. And he said, I called my mom and she said that it is not an expectation that you are to bring something to a dinner party. And I just thought Paige's voice just rang in my head where she would go, boy moms. Like, it feels like Whitner's mom is just like, you did great, honey. Don't you worry about anything. No one cares about that. That's not a thing. Just you showing up is all anyone needs. Like,
and Paige's mom would always be like, just act like you've been somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that.
What?
That he called his mom and she said that.
You think Whitner's the lying now
I
too?
do, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay, please.
Charlotte Hall. Craig needs to stop drinking. He's so much better of a human when he's sober.
He's so much easier to defend.
Bazillion %.
Love.
Shannon Fault. Brett said throw the bear away. I knew he had to have an issue with Austen. Yeah, he hates that dude.
I'm glad.
Guys,
that
Minnie looks so cute. I'm sorry. You just have to stop. It's so cutie.
I think that's respectable. If I like, there's one thing you could say that if he doesn't say anything about Austen, it's because he's confident in himself. I like it.
I like a
when a dude is
little
like, get that
jealousy.
thing out of here.
Yeah,
get that bear.
That bear's not in my
kid's
kid's room.
Yeah.
I do like a little bit of that. That's like the guinea in me.
Yeah.
Mandy J, who I called you Amanda last week. Sorry, it's Andrea, not Amanda. There's Paige, and then there's Craig's girlfriend, Paige. One exists in real life, and the other lives in Craig's head. For a while, there was an overlap. This is probably why Paige felt unsupported, because Craig was being an assertive listener instead of hearing what she was telling him. He thought he already knew what she wanted and was asserting that over what Paige actually said to him. The real Paige broke up with Craig and moved on to live her best life with a new boyfriend. Craig is still holding on to the fantasy Paige, who, in his head, wants to move to Charleston, get married, and have kids. That's the Paige that Craig would take back. Everyone else has only ever seen the real Paige, and that's why everyone else's reaction is, huh? That is so banging of a comment. I think that's totally true.
I think it's totally true. On top of that, I think that Craig was his best in his own eyes, not to Austen and Shep apparently, but in his own mind, this was the biggest successful time of his life. And I think that he associates a lot of like, I started a business, I got sober. I don't think that Craig knows like you could still do all those things by yourself. I think he's putting it all together as like, I just need her to come back so my life gets better. And that's why I would take her back. But you know, I still do totally think, once you realize that she's not all those things that you've just decided in your head that she is, you'll be out. Maybe.
This was a fun little chain started by Shannon. Whitney is like an 18-year-old grandfather and a creepy uncle all wrapped up in one terrible windbreaker. And Mary Ika Kent said, I agree, and that weird mustache fuzz thing is not helping. And Shannon Fall says, no, he's seconds away from tying up a maid and leaving her on the railroad tracks of an old silent film style, which literally, don't tell anybody, it made me pee in my pants a little when I read it the first time. Andrea, Mandy J again, Shep needs to make a public service announcement before he travels somewhere so everyone else can leave in advance of his bad karma. There was the recent St. Bart's debacle, and now that he's in Hawaii, another volcano is erupting.
That was funny.
Funny. Mo Crazy 927, you guys rock, and now considering a Jaeger tat. Nah, she put not. Or they put not. I don't know if that is she. Patrick Boren, Craig's take on his prior relationship. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
That was so good.
I literally just screenshot that just to make sure that nobody forgot it. That was one of the favorite comments I've ever come across. Like that was so good.
Simple and so perfect.
Yeah, nice work, dude.
This one was, I think, my favorite. More just the end was so freaking funny. Organza, Miss Gay Vancouver. I can't get over Craig slurping his smoothie during a business meeting. It further proves how little he's invested in the growth and success of his company. This part. I imagine he was slurping his smoothie when they tried to teach him to sew and or quilt. Keep smiling, Craig. At least the camera loves your face. I just pictured Craig like slurping and sewing, getting smoothie all over the sewing machine.
I feel like that was an iced coffee, and let me tell you, iced coffee can pull that out of you sometimes. A good iced coffee.
I'll slurp anything. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Ew.
Yeah, that's wrong channel, Courtney. Wrong channel.
We want the high points.
Who the F knows Emily? Who the F knows Emily Rose? I also think Craig resents and misses the success he had while with Paige more than he actually misses Paige. When he parks under her billboard, he thinks she wouldn't even have that without me. Another great Paige point.
I actually had a comment to that. I can't remember if I wrote it or not, but I screenshot that because I wanted to read it because I actually think he parks under the billboard and thinks, my hair's that good too.
Like you say, two things can be true.
Me? I need to fire my
Yeah,
manager.
exactly.
They're
Like
not
I
doing
think
the
he's
work.
thinking it's like that narcissistic streak where I think he parks under the billboard being like, my hair's just as good.
Yeah.
Where's my
I'm calling my
trust
manager
man?
right now.
Jack?
Exactly.
So Grace Carr, put my brakes on. No pun intended. Grace Carr, purely speculative, but I think Whitner likes girls who are out of his league. Charlie is very attractive from a decent family, and she could pull a main character like Shep, Austen if he was single. And Craig. Shep even stated he tried sending her a DM, and she didn't reply. Of the three stooges, Craig is the most boyfriend material, so I think she would purposefully set her eyes on him, which is why she rejected Whitner, which is kind of sweet if that's true. I don't think she said no because he's unattractive. I think she said no because she can strive for higher on the totem pole. I replied, oh, Charlie, go out with Whitner, not Craig. Pretty please. And Grace Carr says, I like him, but honestly, the jury is still out until his second to third season. He could start off nice and pull a West a la Summer House after all the female attention he's garnering. And that is true. And I always say it. And no matter how many of these shows you watch or how long you watch them, everyone that you love, you will end up hating. And everyone you hate, you will end up maybe thinking that you don't hate them. And that will go back and forth many times.
I agree with you completely, and that is true. I just want everyone to know that West pulled all of his stunts on his first season. So we didn't have to wait till like season 3 to see that.
She's saying give him a couple seasons because he might pull a West.
Yeah.
Not in 3 seasons. He just might do it. We're still 6
I thought you
episodes
meant like
in.
give him a couple seasons because he might pull a West, meaning like, but like West pulled his stuff on his first season.
Yeah, West was like, he came out of the gate swinging. Everyone loved this guy, like could not believe it, and then
Very quickly
burned it all down.
Yeah,
That's
all
such
within
a
the same
dude
season.
thing, a self-saboteur.
There was a lot of good comments in regards to Craig saying he would take Paige back. Zan55, Craig would totally take Paige back. He wants to be in a relationship, but he doesn't want to go through the dating part to get there. I can totally relate to that. Dating is exhausting, especially once you hit a certain age. Hence my being single for the last 5 years. But what's the easiest way to get into a relationship without dating? Getting back together with an ex. Been there, done that. I'll have. The problem is that even if she did take him back, it wouldn't work. Getting back together with exes almost never does.
There's a reason
Great
it didn't work,
point.
and that reason usually comes right back around.
That's all I got. And again, Kevin, we'll get you next week on the big news.
Erudite for Spite said, Megan here, reporting live from the after show. Craig confirmed he does talk to a real-life therapist, but also to ChatGPT. Whitner called out the fact that ChatGPT only feeds you what you've already taught it. So essentially, it's like talking to yourself. And Shep said it's like a sign of the apocalypse. I too believe that Craig only talked to ChatGPT as therapy, but he has a real-life therapist out there as well. Back to you at the news desk. I just thought that was hilarious. I know we've touched on it, but I had to read it because you really made me chuckle.
Listen,
was
we're always looking for
hilarious?
consultants.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you call them? Reporters?
Correspondents?
Correspondents. We're always
Always.
looking for correspondents. I don't know if Harris's was completely unplanned. Like that wasn't like, oh, you send me this and we're going to read it on the show tonight. Like that happened. And now we've got him on the books. He's coming in 2 weeks to it's a night that we don't always shoot. It's a Thursday night. Yeah. And we don't even know what we're going to cover yet, but Harris is on the calendar for the man chair.
Wow, Bethany. Wow, I can't believe you've way to bury the lead.
Well, because I was going to talk about the whole thing with Harris and what a sensation he was. Everyone was commenting because I'm
so
on the
good.
short and being like, this guy can come anytime. I think Nicole Quinlan asked, what does this guy do for like? He has
his
an
great
amazing
voice.
What does he do for a living? Joe Schmo's into it. And yeah, I'm so glad that we did that because we had been putting it off, and now this just made it like, no, let's get business
here,
taken care
boo.
of. Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yes.
Okay. Cassidy Klinkhammer said, Vanita is the Heather Gay of Charleston. She's trying to hold others accountable all the while having no storyline for herself. She's just playing the morality police. And I thought that was a very astute comment. Speaking of our boy Harris, he said, Shep, wasted away in Margarita. I just loved it, especially when you hear the, wasted away again.
Yeah.
I can't sing it. It's tired and I'm not a singer. It's tired. I'm
No, I
tired.
love
Oh
it.
God.
It was just like it was the best of times, the worst of times.
It was so
it was
good.
one line in and out. Perfect.
So good.
Yeah.
Nicole Quinlan said, I keep fighting for Vanita because of Sierra. Sierra keeps co-signing, so I keep looking. I feel like Cher, Kristen, and Belle and Dak Shepard.
Kristen Bell and Dak Shepard.
No, she wrote Cher.
Cher was on Dak Shepard's podcast, I think, and maybe Kristen Bell was on the episode for some reason. Anyways, that could all be fake news. Basically, Cher told Kristen Bell that she's too good for Dak Shepard, to their faces.
By the way, I don't disagree with you, Cher, but I never really disagree with Cher, so there's nothing new there.
And I never didn't like Dak Shepard, and then I cannot for the life of me remember what he just did or said or
Shane,
whatever. I remember that, but even then, when Shane was saying that stuff, I was like, wow, I've not had that experience with Dax. He said something recently that I was like, okay, that'll be all from you, sir. I can't remember what it was.
Marty Hans said Austen wanted to be with Madison the second he lost her. He treated her the same way, but she stood her ground, and he was like, oh, shoot, I want that, and lost it. No one else will be Madison, and he sees her all the time to compare those attempts to recreate that with. I think there's so much truth in that, but I also think like Austen's just, I think if he could have Madison again, I don't even know I think he would screw it up again. I really do. Yeah. Y'all got to watch this. Said, I miss y'all. I had a rough new year, but I'm back in business. I have been dutifully watching with Courtney's HGTV advice in my ears, and here's why I agree with Mike. F. Craig, I was married to a much poorer dime a dozen down south. Also, I was watching early seasons, and didn't Shep say his goal was a little family house on Sullivan's Island? Goals, but that little house is going to run him $4 million. Also hitting the hype button for Courtney's hair today. So effing good. And I just want to say, I don't even care if you don't agree with me. The fact that you thought my hair looked great is enough for me.
She also left the sweetest message on TikTok, like, so dope. Just a full shout out talking about us and how she loved our show, and like it was so amazing. It's like I don't know. It's like those dumb things, and it wasn't dumb, but it's like those things where you like, oh,
something
let's do a dumb podcast and see what happens, and somebody says something like that, and you're like, oh God, we're actually doing something.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's so good. I'll send it to you.
Please.
It started out like, it wasn't just a shout out. It was here are my favorite podcasts. And so I thought she was basically going to give like a my top 5 podcasts of 2026, whatever. The whole thing was just about us. The end. And it was just really nice. It was straight to camera, and I'll send it to you. It was really, really nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I can't wait to see it.
I know. And I hate when I hear that people are having a hard time. And just because I don't know what to say. Nobody can say anything. I like to always have an answer. This is why sometimes people don't get texts or emails back from me right away. It's because I'm always thinking I got to come up with a zinger, a banger ending to that reply, or like, who cares?
I would like to go on record, Natalie. You do not need to have an answer for me. I just want to know you got it.
No, listen, I get that. This is a me thing, and it is. I know that it's incredibly self-important to think that anybody is waiting for some banger outro from my reply text to, are you hungry for dinner? But old habits die hard.
Sometimes you just need an outbeat.
Yeah.
Just if it makes you, because if there's anything misery loves, it's company. Last year was a complete dumpster fire for me. So I totally get it. Take your time. I hope this nastiness just leaves your life quickly, which I think you said you're on the up and up now, which I'm very grateful for. Marty Hans also said, anytime I said I was cold growing up, my ma from Wisconsin would say, do the dishes. The vacuum is over there. And I just love that because it's what I said last week. It's Bob Abiyadi's theory of school of movement. Steffi Marie said, we need to keep liking, sharing, and commenting so everyone starts to wake up and subscribe because I need you 3 to recap all the shows I like to watch. I missed you guys. And 1, thank you so much. 2, we missed you too. 3, That reminds me to tell everyone, because I wait till the very end of the episode, like, subscribe, hype. We were trying to get to 3,000 followers as soon as humanly possible, and then 5,000, and then 7,500, and then 10,000. No, we could just skip to 500,000, but we really do want to keep hitting these goals. So if you can like and share and all that stuff, it would mean so much to us.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for reminding me to remind everyone, Steffi, because clearly I forget. Which really reminds you that we actually do this for fun, because I always forget to say, please help us get more followers.
I know. No, I know. We're such idiots. The whole marketing of this is all wrong. But like we would do more days if we literally had any more bandwidth. It would just take us hiring one editor or being able to
afford a wider band.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel horrible when we only put one episode out a week.
It kills me.
Yeah. Or when holidays came and there was nothing on and we hadn't like stockpiled a bunch of stuff, but like we don't have any time to stockpile. It's always this great idea. I go, we should watch Vanderpump and do it for the holidays. That would mean that we actually had time to watch all of Vanderpump.
During my busy season.
Exactly. Like the worst month ever for you to have to be here all the time.
By the way, it's not even the worst month. It's not even possible. You know, when someone's just like, can you help me pay for this? It's like, I can't even help you pay for half of that, half of what you want me to do.
Do you take string cheese?
More
Also, I'm
important.
out of string cheese until payday. Can you wait till Monday?
One of my favorite jokes is, you want 15 string cheeses? No, God, no. How am I supposed to eat 15 string cheeses? What about if I dip them in batter and deep fry them? Well, yeah.
I love that one.
Anybody can eat
So
15
good.
Mosies.
Yeah.
Anyways, more importantly, you said doo-doo.
Thanks. Who the F knows Emily Rose? I also think Craig resents and misses this. Oh, you wrote this. Sorry. I'm really tired. We're almost at 4 hours.
Oh my God.
Okay, tell me if you read this one. Fish and Gal said,
Tell me if you've heard this one.
Oh, Fish and Gal and I are splitting our Sprinter van, by the way.
I thought you were going to say
splitting up. I was like,
how dare
what happened
you?
there?
Splitting up. We're bringing it together. I got to get her a fishing pole rack.
Oh, okay.
And we're in. It was 50-50. So
Okay.
I'll get you posted.
Fish and Gal was the one who reminded me of what Austen said on Nick Viall when he said Austen and his girlfriend, who knows what her name is, Audrey? Yes. Have only been together for a total of 1.5 years. Austen has never, ever been in a relationship longer than 1.5 years, as he stated on Nick Viall's podcast. And I forgot that's where he had said it. And it's shocking every time you hear it. Marie Vasquez says, Mike nailed it with 2 truths. Mike is the voice of reason here when it comes to Craig. And I just want to ask, is she saying you nailed it with saying 2 truths or the 2 truths that you said?
Probably both.
Well, no, because if that's the case, I'm the one who came up with 2 truths, and I just
do
need
that
to
for you. You didn't even need to do
Okay,
this. I
thank
had
you.
it ready. Like, it's so funny
She's
how many
saying that
times
at the
this
end.
happens to me.
There is something about
No, that's not correct what you're saying. She's not giving credit to anybody. I believe what she's saying is when I said, when you were like, oh, it's HGTV, I said that's a shit analogy. I'll use another analogy. 2 things can be true. Just because he's the best piece of shit on the block doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what she was referring to. Not that I came up with the 2 truths.
Well, that's what I asked. So why did you answer that when am I crazy? Did I not ask that?
He listens when he wants and he taps out. When
Yeah. Well, no, because I literally just asked that and you go, I don't know. And so I said, if you're referring to the 2 truths line, I just want credit as the original author of 2 truths.
Yeah, and it's also
But you think that you came up with 2 things can be true?
She just says it nonstop.
Stop. On this show,
I know.
I
that,
also
but
didn't say even a broken clock is right twice a day, but it's like one of my things that I always say.
That's why I always say it, is only because she said it. But it's happened a handful of times where they go, I loved it when Mike said this thing. And I'm like, Mike didn't say that
thing.
No, that happens at work because our accountant loves my boss, Mike Hofer. I also love Mike Hofer. He's my best friend. But like April loves Mike Hofer and pretty much hates the rest of us. I'm kidding, April. But it's funny. You can always tell when April really likes something that you say because a couple of minutes later, she'll be like, oh, well, that thing that Mike Hofer said. And you're like, oh, I said that. You liked it. She'll give him credit.
Yeah, so that's not me. I want the credit. Harris wrote, if Craig had bought a ring, that would mean he really loved Paige, and that would mean He knew how important her mom's feedback was. I don't hear Kim DeSorbo confirming the ring. Sorry, Conover cult. Craig loved the idea of Paige, the promise of Paige, the potential of Paige, the story of Paige, and him saying, I would take her back right now, and doubling down on the ring is him continuing to tell us his funny little stories. I yearn for him. He can still get it, but I need him to put the Paige of it all to bed, and should take comfort in the adage, if you want to get over someone, get under someone else, and the person should be Charlie, in my opinion. And I just want to say, from jump, I've always said I don't ever think he got the ring, and I would also like him to get under Charlie.
I feel like he brought it up again this episode.
Yeah, he did.
Like he kind of glommed on to.
I think maybe it was last episode.
It was a girl at the feed store, and they came in and she said something about like can't wait to get a ring or something, or I used to have a ring. Salley said, I used to have a ring. And the girl said, I did. It's okay. I did too.
Yes.
And I don't think Craig said specifically I did too, but I feel like he said, see, it's all the same for us.
We've all been in the club or something.
We're all the same here or something. And I'm like, you're trying to say again that you also had a ring.
Doing the quadruple down.
I wonder if he will ever prove it. Like, I wonder if there's a way that he probably would have by now though.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
We don't believe you though, Craig. Harris also in closing said, I can't decide if I think Winchester is hot or if he just looks like one of the interesting, chuggy, dapper dudes at Disneyland. If you know, you know. And Nat said, for me, Winchester's hotness revolves heavily around what kind of hair day he's having.
Sometimes it's so legit. He's got it all in place. And other times it's like a big poof. You know, it's like Zach. We talked about and Zach didn't get it together until season 2 or 3 or whatever it was. So I guess we got to give him time for his glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. I just thought your response was hilarious.
Organza Miss Gay Vancouver says, Velveeta is trying to be Lauren Conrad and she was cast to play Lo. And I really only read this one because obviously we both agree. I think we both have Lauren Conrad and we both use that analogy. But I was excited to say, how shitty is it that Spencer Pratt might be Lauren Conrad's mayor soon enough, and she's just going to wake up to an avalanche of parking tickets. And that would be so good. I'll vote for and I like Lauren, but I still think that it would be hilarious to watch Spencer be someone who was like, oh, you remember me, mother?
Or you know what it is? She doesn't wake up to the tickets. It's more like she needs a favor, and he's just like, don't know if I can make that happen.
Yeah, sorry.
It's going to be tough. I never watched The Hills.
I don't know if like there are things like I think that anybody can go back and watch Entourage and it will still be great. I don't know if The Hills is like that. If you haven't already watched The Hills and have like a love for it and like it's a nostalgic.
I loved
and all
Laguna
that.
Beach.
Oh, well then maybe you could.
I remember a million years ago, I tried to watch it and I couldn't get into it.
Oh, I thought you just said you love Laguna Beach. Oh, you're talking about the Hills. You couldn't get into the Hills.
Because I was so excited because I loved Laguna Beach, but I was watching The Hills and I was like, I don't think this is for me.
Here's the thing about The Hills and Entourage. They both take place in like the heyday of Hollywood. Yeah. Like where you're just seeing
Robertson Boulevard, Sunset Plaza,
Bolthouse production parties, you know, like just all like it's all dumb, but it's like LA has lost so much of its zhuzh, and it's a bummer. And you when you put that on, you remember like this is why I thought and still carry it because of the time that I spent. It was the greatest city in the country. Like, and a lot of people will come here now and be like, this shit all? I'd be like, you don't know what it was. And it can get back.
It will.
With Spencer Pratt in charge. Vote for Pratt. Harris says, Mike, your voice is very soothing when you're sick. I know you probably feel like hell on the inside, but I would love to hear you tell the tale of the red brick road on the Calm app. Move over, Matthew McConaughey. I thought that was so cute.
Me too. I do think you have a great sick voice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Wendy Blumenthal says, it's a free country. Have you seen the news lately? I have. I don't want to talk about it.
That's why we want to talk about this.
Yeah. Shannon Paul says, I went to the Spam Museum in Minnesota. It's wild.
Oh my God. I had that. I don't know how. Whoever did the iPhone update, you need a stern talking to, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things about this.
Horrible. It is the least intuitive update I have ever experienced in my life. And I thought I screenshot it, but now you have to go through. You know, I used to be able to screenshot and just
There
keep
it
it
is.
moving.
Yeah.
Now you
have
gotta
to
like
double
hit a
confirm.
button. Are you sure you want it? It's a screenshot. Who cares if I'm not sure? Just save
Yeah.
it for me. I'll delete it later. It's fine.
Yeah.
I thought I screenshot that because there was such a good thread under it with everyone being like, I need like, I think me, Truth, you, Mike, we're all like, I need details. What else could you tell us about this?
Yeah.
It was just,
No, I am dying to know what
she said Google
else.
Pictures because she doesn't remember a lot.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I will. We will as a community.
Oliver Thomas says, Sally's dumb, but she's harmless. I don't mind.
Ditto. Same.
That's true.
And I don't think she's dumb. I just think she's hearing what she wants to hear.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready? It's only 3 hours and 48 minutes in. But if you don't mind,
Indulge us.
I'll be closing it out with Truth for Peace for Freedom.
I can't. Mike being off makes me off, but Mike's off is so good. it's like your
There's a hole
tube is
in my
broken. You know what I mean? I want it to stay this way forever.
That's true.
It's so good. Anyway, carry on.
Okay.
Wait, where's Jeanette Allen?
Oh my God. Where, Jeanette, do you not watch Southern Charm? That's all I can come up with is that she doesn't watch it. And you're missing out.
And where in God's green earth is
Carlite?
I'm not okay, Carlite. Where are you? I'm starting to get really worried.
No.
Have we offended you? Do you hate us?
No, maybe. Wait, who? Carlite?
Yeah, Carlite.
Yeah, I don't. I swear we met her during Southern Charm. So
No.
She was our first.
She's our sunshine.
fan.
Where's
Like,
our
she was our
sunshine?
the first person to be like, wow, you guys are doing great. And I was like, yeah, I'll wait till we fuck it up. And she was like, you're not going to. Okay, well,
Maybe we
we
did.
haven't yet. Oh, maybe we did. But also, God damn it.
you know what would be hilarious is if everybody went to one of the older episodes of Southern Charm. She's in all of them, and everyone just started replying to comments and going, "SOS,
Where are you?
Where are you?"
Knock twice if you can read this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, that would be
Somebody
hilarious.
Also,
else,
can
though.
everyone in the commies tell me, is anyone watching Heated Rivalry? Have you watched it? It's only the greatest show on television.
Maybe she's in her room rewatching.
Well, that doesn't explain for the months prior. I need to
That's-
know what's happening.
Oh, that's
We love
true.
you and miss
No,
you,
I really
Carlite.
do too, totally.
Sarah McBride.
Sarah McBride.
Where
Oh
are you,
my
Sarah?
God, this is really troublesome, guys.
No, every time this happens, I go, I'm sure I said something stupid.
You probably did.
No, I'm not even joking. I do say stupid things all the time. I want to be more thoughtful about them, but I also sometimes just want to be like, oh, it's funny. Just go with it. Like I'm not defined by one stupid line that I said. Please try to remember the other ones that you tolerated enough. Okay, anyways. Truth for Peace. As far as Patricia's butler, Randy, goes, I just have so many thoughts about him. First of all, his name, Randy, it means horny in the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, etc. His name and the fact that he wants to be a DJ leads me to believe he's a freak in the sheets, and when he clocks out with Miss P, he blares EDM in the car as he speeds away in relief. He's in over his head at her estate, but he knows it's a great gig. He's playing an actor role. I would find that incredibly difficult to live in the shadows of Michael's ghost. Randy could donate a kidney to Patricia, but Michael will always remain number one in her heart. R.I.P. Michael, you were a real one, a real butler.
Yes to all of that.
I replied to that and like saying I forgot that Randy meant horny and that his DJ name is DJ Horny. Like, how sick of a DJ name is that?
Wait, it's
DJ Horny.
that's his DJ name is DJ Horny?
If it's not, bro, you're really missing out on an opportunity.
Oh, well, okay.
Your name is Randy and you're a DJ?
Okay.
Growing up, I grew up with a kid who named himself DJ Tanner. I think that's pretty adorable.
That's a good one.
For like a high school DJ for a bunch of kids that grew up in like the 80s, 90s.
Yeah. You know what's strange is that you've got Kyle and you've got, what's her name? Meredith Marks, blonde on Beverly Hills. She should do this. I guess probably a lot of them are blonde.
Erica Jane.
Erica Jane. Doesn't it just seem like
No, she is a
should tour-
performer.
I know she's a performer, but like she could double her dates with.
I don't think
with,
she needs to. I feel like
Okay.
honestly, she kills it as or for what she wants to do. I think it's really scratching her itch.
Totally. She
And
just needs to
we
make
don't need
some money
another
because
DJ.
she's
I
got
like
a lot
her
of lawsuits. So
I like her as Erica Jane.
I am relating to you all so hard right now about our dads freezing us out in the our entire childhoods. Our house and vehicles were like meat lockers. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. It was 90 degrees outside, and I would still need to wear a warm sweatsuit. Now that he's old, he wants it warm. You know what's funny about that is that if it's 90 degrees outside and it's cold inside, I would have died for that. It was the opposite for me. It was either freezing cold or don't turn on the air conditioner, even though it's 100 degrees in the summer. Like, I think you should be grateful. Gratitude. It could have been worse.
I personally thrived then because I love the
that makes sense.
heat.
The esoteric meaning of Jägermeister is rooted in the Christian legend of Saint Hubertus, the patron saint of hunters, which inspired the brand's name and logo. The logo, a stag with a glowing cross between its antlers, refers to a medieval legend. The story goes that Hubertus, I hope I'm not saying that wrong. I'm sure I am.
Hubris?
Hubertus. Yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
It could be pronounced hubris, though.
No, I'm sure that's it. And hubris is obviously derivative of that word.
Okay. A wild and worldly nobleman who was a passionate hunter skipped church on Good Friday to go hunting. In the forest, a magnificent stag appeared to him with a radical crucifix floating between his antlers. A voice, sometimes described as the voice of Christ, spoke to him, urging him to lead a holy life. The vision led to Hubertus' spiritual conversion. He gave away his wealth, became a priest, and eventually a bishop, transforming into a fighter for a more respectful approach to nature and the patron saint of hunters. I'm sure Whitney had all this in mind when he got the tattoo.
So weird for him to be the patron saint of hunters because he didn't kill the deer, it sounds like in that story, and hunters kill.
He was a hunter. The deer made him stop hunting.
Right, so then why would he be the patron saint of hunters?
Maybe that's what we'd all like, is if a saint would stop killing the animals.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By the way, I just matched with some guy on a dating app, and I was like, oh, he seems kind of cute. And I went looking through his Instagram feed, and it's him in a video jiggling around a dead horse's body that he had just murdered. And I was like, not for me.
Who's
Horse?
murdering horse?
What is
Sorry.
murdering
I'm
horses?
sorry. We're 4 hours in officially.
That's
A
fake
deer.
news. Sorry, it was a deer.
It was a deer. But also people kill horses and eat the meat. Or the government kills many horses every year.
Well, the government can do as they please, Courtney. I don't know if you got that memo yet.
Oh, let's hope I never get that memo.
I know, it's so gross.
I'm a woman, so I guess I have gotten that
This
memo.
is what's keeping me, Truth, and Harris up all night into the wee hours trying to figure out. Okay, anyways, Mike mentioned last video about the possibility of us living in a simulation. Also something we talk about at 2 or 3 in the morning. And I have also considered this due to a very strange synchronicities I have experienced. The most recent one was when we were joking about your Showmance crew using Hollywood stunt bottles made of sugar glass to crack over each other's heads during times of heated debates. Well, just yesterday, I watched Craig on Watch What Happens get blasted in the head multiple times with those bottles. That show and our conversation happened at almost the exact same time 3 weeks ago. Not that strange, just a coincidence or parallel thinking. Okay, well, I have another example. I have many. The very first time I was flying out to LA, Beverly Hills, I was just about ready to leave the house. All I needed to do was turn off the radio, turn off the lights, and lock the door. As I was just about to turn off the radio, Beverly Hills by Weezer made their debut drop. Just another coincidence? Maybe. Here's another example. This one is by far the strangest. We were watching old episodes of Punky Brewster. I was talking to my partner about old shows that adults and kids used to watch together. I used Quantum Leap as an example and asked him if he knew of any others. He used Knight Rider as an example. I said, maybe for boys, but girls don't care about talking cars. Well, I didn't care, at least. Within 5 minutes of saying that, while we were watching the first season of Punky Brewster, Punky was telling Henry that she was watching Knight Rider. We both looked at each other and just said, did that just really happen? Dude, so weird. It's like the universe was talking to me and telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. It was so specific and timely to fall under the umbrella of coincidence. What does it all mean? I'm a Craig lover and an apologist. I forgave Craig.
I like that stance.
Holla! I forgave Craig when an AI robot told him to be patient with himself, and he cried due to its kind words. I forgave him for snapping on his friends and turning into a bully in the past. And I forgave him for pathologically lying and for his potential alcoholism. But there is one thing I will not forgive: his strategically gelled piece of hair that he spent 10 minutes looking in a mirror to get it placed perfectly in front of his face. I'm sorry, I can't. I might have to walk away from Craig and go to Joe Bradley's camp from Below Deck Mediterranean. What a cutie. and he's honest enough to say he's not ready for anything serious. He tells women up front he wants to just have fun, unlike Shep and Austen. But then I get to thinking about all the things I love about Craig: his loyalty, chicken and bumblebees, homesteading, love for blue raspberry, and born in Aquarius. He sees a conspiracy underneath every single rock and has the best smile in all of South Carolina. You're speaking my language, girlfriend. And I remind myself not to be so fickle with my love for him. So for now, I'll say the course and just cross my fingers that he never does that to his hair again.
I just want to say truth because I am a real Below Deck lover. I was almost on the same page with you, but Joe really lost me with what he did with V and Kizzy and the whole nine. I'm no, big no. And please, I'd like to know your thoughts.
He's kind of dumb. That's my issue with him.
Joe?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you weren't watching.
Joe Bradley is on, isn't that the kid from Southern Hospitality?
Oh, I thought
Yes, but I believe the Joe on Below
There's
Deck
two
too,
of them.
probably.
Oh, okay. I thought you
there
meant like one
are?
of those crossovers where like, because sometimes so that's why I just assumed she meant Joe Bradley from Southern Hospitality.
Wait, Joe and DJ Maddie are still a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know if this was from another time.
Oh,
I don't
didn't
watch
she say Below Deck?
Yeah, I just thought it was like a crossover because there's
No.
already a Joe Bradley
Oh.
on Bravo.
No, so maybe we have a wire cross because there's a Joe. I can't remember what his last name is, but he's on Below Deck and he was.
You're probably right. We should just nix what I just said. I'm sure it's a different person.
Well, no, truth, let us know.
Salley and Heather Gay from SLC need to play it cool when it comes to men. They're too hungry and it gives off an unpleasant scent. Haven't they ever watched Tom and Jerry? I know Heather will be asked about Captain Jason at the reunion. By the way, Below Deck Down Under airs 2/2. We will get to see our SLC ladies from the crew's perspective. Looking forward to that. I don't actually know if I'll watch that.
I will be tuning in.
I have had enough of those broads. I don't need to see them in another. I don't need to see Lisa with no makeup on for another angle. No thanks. I've seen enough angles. 3 episodes dedicated to their shenanigans. 3 episodes?
That's because there's got to be a lot going on with the crew. I'm very excited for it
Man,
personally.
that is a lot. That's a lot of Barlow. Okay, that's it.
We did it.
We totally did it.
Like, subscribe, hype, tell a friend, and we love you.
Yeah. All of that, all of those things.
It's
I'm totally forgetting something.
It's okay because it's 4 hours long.
Okay. No, that's it. I can't remember.
I love you all.
Yeah, I love you. Bye.
I love having this parking pass. It's like going from coach to first class.